Hello, our viewers. Welcome to Women Rise, Women at the Front Lines on Civic Space TV. My name is Madreen, and we are here to entertain you again on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Yes, you're welcome, and please have a seat and enjoy the conversation. I hope you have all been well, and us here back in studio, we are doing well at Civic Space TV. And we are so happy that you always come back to watch our episodes every Saturdays at 3 p.m. So today we have another exciting guest. She's a woman in sports. We rarely see women in sports, but she's going to tell us about her experience as a young woman doing sports. She is a journalist, but in particular a sports journalist. So join me, welcome our guest today. And we have Allen Namiya. You're welcome, Allen.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good. How are you too?
I'm okay. Welcome to Civic Space TV.
It's a pleasure to join you today.
So what's good? Where are you coming from?
A lot of good things. The weather is fantastic.
The weather, fantastic. Really, these days it's quite very cold. Very cold.
That weather because you can put on a jumper than the hot one.
Okay, seasons are changing, the weathers are changing. So Allen Namiya is a sports journalist, and she works with FUFA TV. She's also a sports director at I Care Foundation, and she's using the power of sport to drive social change and empower communities. We are so happy to have her. As I said in the beginning, very few women, interest themselves in sports. So we are really happy to have Allen today, and we are going to learn more from her experience as a sports journalist and how she's able to do it. Yes, you're welcome once again, and say hello to our viewers.
Hi everyone who is watching. Thank you so much for watching Civic Space TV, and it's a pleasure to have this conversation with Madreen.
Yeah. And Allen, to someone who has not seen you before anywhere on FUFA TV, they're seeing you for the very first time. How do you describe yourself? Who is Allen Namiya?
Wow.
Am I even pronouncing it well? Namiya.
You're actually one of the people that are trying to pronounce the name well, and it's a shocker to me. A lot of people do not pronounce that name really well, and I am okay.
Yeah, you're okay with it. You're used to it.
Like, it's okay. You can pronounce it the way you really want. But Allen Namiya is a sports enthusiast. That's what describes me best. I love sport. I think before being any of the titles, I have a lot of love for sport. Grew up in the sports space, and use sport to see that we change lives of people around us. But I love God so much, and I'm a Christian before anything.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm a director. I under a foundation called I Care, and I also have a lot of titles. I'm a youth leader.
There's a lot.
Quite a number of titles, but I think it's very nice that we focus on the sports direction today, as because we're going to be speaking more about sport in the community and as a woman rising.
Yeah. Wow, very interesting. And so Namiya Allen, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Luero.
Namiya, I'm trying to connect. Where specifically, where do you belong? Where are you born? You're born from Luero, but yeah. Where do you come from? What's your background?
What's my background?
Yes.
In what perspective do you want to know?
Individual, your family background, your childhood background. Yes, yeah.
Okay, I'm from Luero district. I'm a born of Ndeje. If you've heard of Ndeje, there is Ndeje University, the main campus. That's my village. When people come to school that side, for us, we're in a village. So I am privileged to be coming from a society that because Nede University, I think it's one of the places that have a lot of sport. That's how I fall in love with sport. I always tell people that my love for sport started way back when I was still a child, because the environment where I was in, it was the only form of leisure. So these things of watching TV were not there.
We were not there,
every
yeah.
time we were from the garden to the field. You want to go to Nede University to watch football, the trainings of these university students, and that's how the love starts. You're like, oh, there are people who are doing this, they're educated through this, they're making life through this, and for me that's how the love started, away from Ndeje. I'm a born of Ndeje. Do I have to say why? I come from a family of seven kids. Are they kids now?
They are not.
They are mature people. We are 7, and I am fifth. Yes, I have 2 siblings that follow me. So that means I'm fifth, right?
Yeah.
I studied still in Ndeje now locality there. They are I studied in a school called Namiya Allen Girls Primary School. I didn't know sports so much because I don't think I went to schools that really valued sports.
Yeah.
There was so much of a lot of things that we used to do as girls, the art and craft. If you've been in our generation of 1990 something, I don't want to, people might count my age already, but sport was not so much for girls as today. That even the sportswear we used to put on used to have some skirts around so that you don't expose your body so much.
Yeah.
So I went to girls' school and secondary as well as Ndeje. Then even at campus, it's when I left Ndeje, and that's where my journey now starts. When I was still in primary, of course, families, our culture families, don't want you so much to engage in sport, but it was the only leisure in the community, as I said earlier on, and you would see that we would all go to the field because it was the only way you would interact with people, but also applauding the university for letting young people in to be part of this, to utilize the university facilities. And see us today, that's where the love started from. So there used to be an organization called the Christian Sports Contact, and that organization ushered us into sport. I used to be a very good dancer, and that's how I joined the organization.
Okay.
You know, these culture dances, and they would come in the communities, because I used to study in the schools within the community. They used to see me at MDDs, and what came home, that's my father. Of course, my dad has never been doesn't want to let his kids just leave home like that, you know.
Yeah.
As our parents, they used to really guard us so much as girls. So we used to sneak, go for trainings. I was part of that organization, I think, since I was in primary 6. All this throughout secondary level, I entered as a dancer, looked for a sport, because I saw there was sport in it. They used to use sports to reach out to communities, young people, spread the gospel through sport and everything. So I was like, so I need to find maybe something that I can do, and that's how I started playing volleyball. I played volleyball throughout secondary. I played volleyball the entire secondary, and when I was done with Form 6, that's where I think the breakthrough started, and I was like, and that's when I realized that sport can do something. Of course, they used to train us a lot of life skills, financial literacy, media. I'm sure it's where all these interests. They say charity begins at home. The way you grow up really matters a lot. The skills you get when you're still a child really help you even when you grow up. Because today, when I think about how this organization, actually through this conversation, I'm trying to think about how the organization used to really teach us all these things: self-esteem, speaking to people, that confidence that you get when you're speaking to people. So I applied a scholarship and went to Norway. And when I was studying my university in Norway, I was still doing sport. And it is sport that really connected me even to that, to this
Wow, wow.
organization. I got to Norway, played volleyball as I was doing my university, and that's how I started getting something from sport. Of course, when you got scholarships, you're paid.
You're paid, yeah.
Your life really starts to change at that point. You get your education, you do what you love so much, but again you are what you are given money. Of course, not a lot of money like salary and everything, but
something
at least
that
you get
can,
something that can
keep you moving.
keep you moving. And for me, I think that's a brief background about me. And of course, I did cross-cultural communication and international work when I was, let's say, a little bit close to media and journalism. And when I came back to Uganda, I was like, no, I think I need to push the journalism career. And I went back to school here and did a course in journalism and mass communication.
Okay. I'm trying to, connect the dots, the love for sports. But you as a young girl, which games did you play? In my time when I was growing up, girls being so much interested into boys' games was also, you looked at.
Taboo, yeah. It was
are you a girl? Are you a boy? So those things, I know you faced that when you're growing up. But what are some of the games that you played when you were still a child, and some of the issues you think that really hindered you to, enjoy the sport and love what you wanted?
I think first of all, it's family backgrounds, the cultures where we come from, our Muganda, and in our culture, it's not so common for girls to do sport.
Yeah.
How do you put on shorts? How do you wake up in the morning and you're holding a ball going to play football? For example, there's a number of girls that are doing football today. It was not so common in our years. We have girls who used to do football. Now they used to do it forcefully. I don't think the families would really allow.
Yeah.
So I think the only sport I did, apart from cheering people, was a very good
cheering. Yeah, cheering is also a sport.
I did quite a number of board games. I did chess. I did tennis. I think I did all those board games. And these other sports, this other active sport, I only did volleyball for sure. The rest of the things I would do for fun. Running around, maybe chasing the ball for football, and then I didn't love netball. It was a sport that they would allow the girls to do, but I didn't love it, unfortunately. And it's not a sport that I did when I was still a child. I would, if I had a chance, I would go back and do basketball, but I grew up in a community where basketball was not there. I did volleyball only as an active sport. Maybe even Kwepena. What should we say? Because now it's a sport recognized in the country.
It is also a sport?
Yes.
Wow.
A serious sport. We even have a national team.
Wow, for Kwepena?
Yes.
Oh, that must be so interesting. I think all of us would be interested in that. Yeah, wow. Beautiful, beautiful conversation here with Allen. And Allen, your education back, which schools did you go to? Oh, you mentioned you went to schools in Indeje. So from there you go to Norway, you come back, you do journalism. Tell us about your experience as a journalist, and in particular as a sports journalist.
Wow. That's a nice question. We don't get chances to be asked such questions, actually. And experiences as a sports journalist, we are in an environment where we have a lot of men.
True.
And a very few women take on sports journalism, I'm sure because of fear. I remember at campus, I was the only girl who used to do sports journalism, who used to do sports. The rest of the girls doing all the entertainment and everything. But sport in general, even when I used to, you have courseworks and everything to do, you used to sit with men because the boys were the only people that you relate with what you know and what you can report on. Sometimes it even forces you to get out of your something you love really well, your interest. For example, in sport, you're really isolated, you're out of place, you're like, these are only men. But when you grow up, and you find value in your life, you definitely know what you want to do. I knew what I wanted to do even when I had just stepped in at campus, because when I was still an active sports person, I admired so much to talk about sport, but I got injured so early. Before I made it. When I got a knee surgery and everything, I couldn't do so much. My family was like, you're not going back. I remember my mom even saying that when you go back, either me or you will be dead. So if your parents
And in your family, is there anyone who, you know, has the love of sport or, you know, background, family? Is that someone?
All of us.
All of you.
It's within.
Oh.
Like it's within. We don't excel so much because we focus so much on education. My family is about education, but there is the passion for sport that when you want to have a conversation with us all, start something like Arsenal is playing Man U, what everyone will be part of it. Even my mother, everyone will be part of the conversation. So it's something that is within us.
It's within you,
it's a conversation that will bring all of us together.
I see.
So everyone will participate. So but we did not excel so much in sport. So me as an individual was like, how do I keep relevant in sport? That's why I chose the journalism side. When people see me cheer the national teams, our local clubs here, and you're very vocal, you share your people that you know. Sometimes people ask you, but where did you get that energy? For us, it is leisure. Even when we were still kids, that's what we used to do. So it comes off so naturally. Yeah. Like even when you do it, you feel like you're doing what you really love. Yeah, it's like people who value, who love to go to bars and dance and clubs, you know. Now for me, I think that's one of my types of clubbing. Like I would be out of myself. I drag myself out of my comfort zone and put it out there, put the noise out there, and be like doing something I love. Going back to the journalism question, it's not as easy as people see it. And many times people tell you, but you guys, you have all the space because there are few women. Now, when there are few women in a space, you cannot express yourself so well as a woman, because not so many people will understand where you come from. There are very many things we can't do as women, and that one we need to accept that this I cannot do as a woman, this I can do. Even when I want to be like men, or even when I feel like what men can do, I can do. There are some limitations.
The things you cannot do.
But there are games you have to do. I happen to do the Finance Trust Bank for Women's Super League, the Match the Lives, and the games you go and do, and it is too hot.
Yeah.
But you have to stand in the sun for example, when you're doing build-up for an hour speaking, you have makeup, you know, as well, women show up, you have really makeup, you have your lipstick and everything, and you have to deliver, whether it's hot
or not.
Now, some things do not favor women. Standing for so long, you're putting on heels, you know, because you want to bring out that you're a woman. And because people are so used to the tomboys are the ones that do much of women's sport. But for us, we want to stay women even while doing women's sport. You show up in your suit and put on your heels, show up like a woman, have your hair done, you know, your makeup done, and show people that yes, I'm a woman figure, but I can still perform in sport. And sometimes it's really challenging.
Yeah.
You know the stress that comes in. At least I'm speaking to a woman, and you have to stand for an hour on heels, and you have to deliver.
I'm also thinking when you're in your days and you have to
go out there on the pitch, and no one has to know, you know.
True. Imagine that 1 hour you're in the hot sun and
those are the things
so
that
challenging.
the
Yeah.
things that the challenges of that come in. Sometimes it will rain. Eh.
And you have to stand in the rain.
There is a game. There is a game I did, the grand finale of the Super League, and the Finance Trust Bank Women's Super League, and it rained when we were doing a match day build up. I thought the producer was going to tell us, guys, stop. Guy gave us umbrellas.
No stopping.
Guy gave us an umbrellas, because we are 3 women on set. They're like, guys, have umbrellas. I'm like, oh my God, this is serious. And it has to rain on you, but you have to work. So some things that do happen. Of course, I'm not saying those are really natural things that happen, but I'm not saying it doesn't affect men. But in a very few occasions that we see men with makeup, it will fall on you. It will even frustrate you when you even takes off your confidence when you're doing such things.
Yeah, true.
But if you're doing something you love, again,
Passion.
You're like, okay, I'm doing something I really love, and you do it with a lot of ease, and you're like, to get done. The other thing is women in sport, very many women, I am not one of them, because now for us we get into this when you really know what you want to do. When you compete, you have to compete for space with men. You have the same space. So these things over, this one is for a woman, this one is where you this one is for a woman. It has to be no. In sport, you have to go out there and fight hard and work so hard that you get the space on air. If a man is better than you, they will definitely give that opportunity to a man. And what does this show us as women? We have to work so hard to see that we are up to the standards of what, for example, a media house would want in you. What are you putting on table? What can you do this better than a man? And we have seen it work. Sometimes you are selected and you're like, what? They are emptying for awards and you're the main host and you're like, yo, this is a space that men will be taking over. But because you've been working so hard and the team believes in you, and that's what we need to do as women. That even when traditions, the norms, everything is against us, we have to step up and show up and be resilient and work so hard for these things. Nothing will come on a silver platter.
Yeah, these things can be done.
Definitely.
Whichever field, do not be scared, to take on your passion. If you're passionate about something, don't get scared. You can work hard and do even better than that. Gentlemen. Yes.
Well.
So what motivates you to, to keep going besides the passion that you have? What are some of the things that you motivate you to keep doing what you're doing as a sportswoman and a journalist?
I think you sidelined passion, but I feel like it's one of the
biggest
things that push you every day.
Yeah.
Even when you don't want, you're like, no, this is something I really love to do. If I don't do this, what will I do?
What will I do? Yeah.
So there is passion, but there is also, you have to earn a living. If you understand, I remember there is a moment where I used to ask God that I don't want to do a job because I want money. I want to do a job that serves my purpose and passion in life. So every time we used to do a lot of jobs for money, you because there is money. There is money. You can do it. There is a kakigi. These days, I think I look at my passion so much, but as well as my purpose in life. What does it add on me?
Yeah.
I think it's another thing that pushes you. Purpose. When you know your purpose, this is where my life is. This is my direction. I am not going astray. I have to take that direction no matter what it will take me. have a goal to achieve at least one of these. In the years ahead, I should be one of the sports ministers that we see in the country. I should be one of the commissioners of federations in the country, and for me, that has been my goal. The path is always not so direct, straight bush. You will have to take some corners. You will get to see quite a number of people, but if you eventually achieve, because you look at the past years and now, you're like, oh, I didn't know that I was actually on a journey, but now it's reflecting.
So how do you write a sports story, and what makes a story so good?
What makes a story so good? One of the things that makes a story so good, I think, it's the uniqueness.
Okay.
The uniqueness of the story, but also with sport, I think it has to have a lot of what should I say? A lot of, and it has to be entertaining, to be eye catching, because there are quite a number of stories that can be put out. But for you as an individual, what do you think is eye catching to the people that are viewing, that are reading out there? And for sports, I think the biggest thing is sport and entertainment is really close. Sport is entertainment, so it has to be entertaining. That is it. To us, if someone has failed to score a penalty, that will be interesting to read and to tell people that, you know what, so and so Messi has failed to score a penalty.
I've watched a few, sports news, but is it there's some common? Is it a voiceover or the tone? Is it, I don't know what to call it, but there's a way you people do present this news to us. Is it supposed to be like that? Like when the matches, these people who
commentary.
Yeah.
I think it's also a science. It's
part of entertaining, guys.
Yeah, you have to entertain people. That's what I told you. For someone to keep locked in, and sport is not something that everyone will love.
True.
But for you to make sure that someone is in love with it, you have to create something that is entertaining.
You have to be creative. Yeah.
And there is a lot of intonations that come within, and the choice of words. Of course, if you had people that do commentary, you don't have to. I think it's also talent. Apart from the people that play on the pitch, even the people that do sports journalism and everything have the talent, and it takes us back to the passion. They're doing what they really love.
Do you also practice this? Because also I see the way you get those names, the names of the players, the numbers. I don't know, people report in real time. These people who do the matches, people are reporting these things real time.
You prepare. You prepare. You know a team is going to play, so you definitely have to have the match day, the match day.
The names of the players,
with the names of players and who is off. Who is off with an injury, who is coming on, who is starting. So you definitely have these names. And now the beauty is they are not new to you. So many times, I think for me, when someone speaks the first name, I will know the second name. Just we know the shirt numbers. We know that that one puts on this shirt number. So you will just, and sometimes you know the positions they play. So by the time they are on the pitch, you definitely know that whoever is moving in number 5 is so and so. And I think that the more you do something, the more you
get used to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like the way you do your introductions here when you're starting a show. It's something you've been doing day in, day out. So you get used to it eventually.
What are some of the achievements ever since you started your sport, your passion right away from childhood? What are some of the good things that you have achieved as an individual first, and then we shall talk about the sports sector in Uganda, some of the achievements you think Uganda has achieved as a country. in that line of sports?
As an individual, really much. I have traveled. I tell people that I can wake up one day and I don't have a lot of money to spend, but in my head I'm like, I'll go for Afro basketball. And guess what? You be there and people come in and you're like, oh, I have your flight ticket is there. And you're like, oh, this is something I just joked around. And you travel not even on your expenses, but the people that support your dream. When you have people that help you push yourself, it's so easy to get out there. So I have traveled. I think when I don't talk about traveling, people all the time tell me, are you in the country? Are you in the country? Like,
You're always on the move.
Because I go out there to do what I love best. The other thing, I talked about my education journey.
Yes.
I at least my campus throughout even when I came here, I was on a scholarship of someone actually I met that side just said, even when you want to study, you go and study whatever you want to study on my money. And it is all through sport.
Wow.
I couldn't get all those opportunities if it wasn't sport. For me, sport is where I eat. I would not even be like this if it wasn't sport. If we didn't have a free sports space, I don't think I would be the way I am. So all my life I credit sport. People think there is no money, but some of us are surviving on sport. Nothing else.
I see these days parents are trying to, interest their kids into sport. There are sports academies, yes.
Because now people have realized that sport is something. It was so sad when we were in lockdown and I would not want to hide this, and our president openly said that sport is leisure. And to us who are seated down there and you're like, oh,
you felt it.
This gentleman does not know that there's a number of people that survive on sport. We might not be actively going to the pitch to play, but we are helping the people that are on the pitch. There is someone who cleans the National Council for Sports. There is someone who sells food around there and other merchandise, sports merchandise, that you've not thought about when you say it is leisure. If they are not playing, then we are not making money. And for me, when I talk about sport, I talk about passion, I talk about income, I talk about my source of income, I talk about my everything. So for me, when you put a hold on sport like this, I'm like, I'm done. There is no way I'm going to be earning a living.
Okay, how so far is the journey of Uganda in terms of sport?
It is.
Are we somewhere?
We are really do.
In terms of support, we have people who go to athletics, that go to the running. Yeah. How far are we? How is the support from the government of Uganda to the sports sector?
I think one of the things that the government has really done so well is to see that they facilitate these federations to carry on these activities. We have a number of national teams that are participating in international tournaments, and it shows you how the government has been supportive, not only even the government, but also these other companies, corporate companies are coming in to support. Of course, betting companies, banks, and everything, they are coming in as, I think, social corporate responsibility. But sport in the country generally is growing, and that's what we love to see. When the sport grows, that means we have we get more opportunities for our kids. I call them kids all the time because in sports they are kids. Even when someone I think is 20 and above, we call them kids. The kids are playing. You see, for example, basketball teams participating in AfroBasket. Quite a number of people now trading outside the country. People have scholarships, studying colleges in the US. Football, the same thing. when you look at rugby, at least we have now women that even are going out to see that they do rugby in other countries. I think all these other sports are really developing tremendously, and that cannot happen without the aid of the government.
Yeah, true.
Because if they put halt on some things, then they cannot travel to see that they can. You look at universities that are giving free education through sport.
Because of sport.
UCU, seen many athletes that have gone through UCU. They have started on sport, and as a parent out there, if your child is doing sport, there is something good in it, and with time, if you keep investing in them, there will be somewhere. I relate so much with when I was in Norway. I always tell people that when you see how this white street sport, you feel like, where do they earn from? But they're looking at the future. The Haalands, if you see Haaland today, if you see Odegaard today, those are Norwegians. I know that are doing well in the Premier League. Me, when I was in Norway, I used to have a host family. But every training, they used to take me for training. But I was 18, 19, I would put myself on a bus and go, but your parents are there to watch over you, to motivate you. When you have games, they be there to cheer you on. And I'm saying even in Uganda, it is coming now, and it's because of the exposure that people get. If sport was not supported so well, I think such things would not be happening.
What's your favorite sport at the moment?
People might be mad at me, so I really, but it's so evident. If you follow me closely, I think I love, there's a lot of love I have for basketball now, because I have a number of friends, but also because our organization as I Care Foundation uses basketball as a tool, so it puts me so close to basketball, though interestingly, on TV everywhere I talk about football, but not any other sport.
Yeah. Okay. And who are your best players, your favorite players in Uganda here?
Problems.
And
No, those are problems. But those are problems, because people will hate me. They'll be like,
I thought I was the one. Yeah. I know.
But why did you mention so and so? But I think in the men's league, here at home, I think my best basketball player is Tony Drillaba. Our national basketball team is called Silverbacks. The lady is called Evelyn Nachinji. They're actually in Abidjan. They're going to be participating in the Afro Basketball tournament. Uganda qualified, and wishing them the very best as they're out there. So that's basketball. You want me to mention every sport?
No. I think that's enough. And so which woman in sport in Uganda do you look up to?
Oh, wow. A woman
The
in
one you've
sport.
grown, seeing, and you think this woman has done great in the sports sector?
Jean Seninde. I think Jean Seninde is someone I have had even when I was still a child, who has been so good with her football and everything. And today you see that she's still pushing in the career, married woman, but still progressing in sport.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you told us you're a director at I Care Foundation. Tell us about this foundation. What do you do, and when do you start? When did it start, and some of the things that are done in this foundation?
Well, I Care Foundation is like a baby. It's a baby to us. When we talk about it, it gets so intimate. It's our baby. It's an organization that uses the power of sport in the communities, and we do basketball as a general sport, but we tap into all these other disciplines through the mental health programs that we do that are called Mind Over Game. So we originate from the US in Baltimore, and that's where our main director comes from. He's called Rodney Carl. He's a Black American who has been a coach before, a basketball coach, a mental health advocate, and a leader. So we operate in East Africa, in Tanzania and Uganda as well. In Uganda, we are just 1 year old, but I serve in that. I don't even want to say I work. I serve under a very beautiful vision
Yeah.
that I grew up in. I think IKEA is doing exactly what the Christian Sports Contact did to my life, and when God gave me the opportunity to serve under IKEA, I said there is someone who served under Krisk and made me fall in love with sport, and now my
It's
my
your
role
turn to
is to give
also,
the
yeah,
young
give
people
back to the young people.
down there, but through a different organization using exactly the same tools that we used. Although now it's getting really bigger because we have mental health as a tool that has not been so much. But even before bringing mental health on board, we had a study of understanding what is really affecting our sportsmen from achieving their goals. And one of the things was mental health, which was not thought about. So we have that concept at IKEA, and our kids, we have a basketball program called IKEA Basketball for children between the age of 13 to 16. We train them basketball, but we embed all these other life skills. We do ICT, we do education, we do mental health that I've talked about, and and we have seen the program really growing. A lot of success stories from the kids that we've worked with from the slums of Mulago, Kalere, around there, because we trained from Makerere University sports ground.
Please tell us some of these success stories you have achieved as a foundation.
As a foundation, in just a year, we've first of all, we managed to support programs under basketball. We've been with the under-16s that recently participated in the Afro Basket Zone 5 qualifiers that were in Dar es Salaam. We took them through mental health programs that help them to be resilient, and even when you speak to them, they tell you how important such things are. And one of the interesting stories was when we were in I happened to travel with a team, and when we were in Dar es Salaam, there is a lot of things that happened. The kids do not have where to sleep. Of course, those were challenges of the host country. But if we did not train these kids to be resilient, we probably would not perform so well. But if they came out as champions, it shows you how important the mental resilience is to even these young people, because these are under 16s, but they would understand the importance of being mentally sober. They're like, you know what, they used to tell me, no, coach, we got this. And in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. And they're like, me, I'm not going to play, but I'll be on the side telling you, let's go. And that's one of the things. We have kids that participate in trainings, in competitions of mental health in schools. And recently, one of the kids that we have in our basketball program won an accolade as the best poet, put out a very beautiful poem about mental health. And these are things that we train them in camps every day they come. We have a mental health trainer who is an athlete, so it relates with them so much. And when they are now growing up, I remember when we were growing up, we used to have programs of kicking AIDS out in schools.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to know so much about AIDS and the advocacy and everything. So for mental health, we are making sure we are speaking this to them even as they're still young.
They're still young.
If by the time they grow up, we'll have a different generation. Butabika might not be highly populated like it is today. I have lost a brother to depression and mental health, so I definitely have a very close damage of what mental health, what mental health can do. So that's how much important it is to us at IKEA Foundation. We don't want to raise half-baked athletes, because we've understood how important it is for us to have mentally and physically sober athletes in the country.
And you know, I'm so happy you have mental health included in what you're doing under the foundation, because usually when we see you people in sport, we don't even think that you people also get this these issues to do with mental health, depression, and all that, we want to look at you as, you know, our players, you entertainers, and these are really things that people don't consider to talk about. Yeah, yeah, it's really a good initiative.
So that's what that's one of the uniqueness that we have at the organization, and I'm telling you, in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm sure that Uganda is going to have better athletes that are raised with completely different mindsets. That when I lose a game, how do I reset and get back? When fans abuse me online, because you know all the things that happen, we've lost a game online, the fans are on your head. Of course, you don't want to lose games, but it happens. In sport, you either lose or win. But how do I get better as an athlete? We teach them, we mentor them, branding, we brand them at a very young age. Our kids can know what they call personal branding at a very young age. And that's what makes sense to us, that we are producing products that are going to be different from what we have today, because we have been there and we work with athletes. So we have been there, we have the right people that are doing this with us, and we know that we are securing the next generation of athletes in Uganda.
Yeah. So how do you get these kids to come to?
We have now with children, this is what people do not know. Just put a ball somewhere. You see, like your compound here, open the gate and have balls.
Yeah.
They will come. You're not going to even put in anything like you're going to move around the community talking. No. What we did, we know very well that our children in the Kampala suburbs are not so busy in holidays. They after doing a few things home, they're watching TV, or they are not, they're engaging in very many other things that are not even developing them. What we did, of course, we put out something on social media, and you know how social media these days is a deal. So you put out something on social media, get the balls, get them to Makerere University main sports ground, be there for 1, 2, 3 days. We've gotten a number of kids that I didn't know would appear. And the girls it's the most number, and I was shocked.
Wow.
I was shocked to have girls, many girls more than boys in sport. It is a shocker, but we have more girls than boys. And that's why it is very important to see that these young people are made busy. If they are not busy, we are going to have early pregnancies.
A lot of issues.
We are going to have a lot of issues in the society. We have drug addicts at a very young age, because they come from Mulago, Kalere, where Wandegea, you know how those places are. So you Kamocha, so you but they walk to Makerere every day.
So how do you follow up? Do you
we have programs. We have programs that run in schools. For example, the Mind Over Game program goes up to schools. We have, of course, the X Spaces that happen every Monday, that we invite different athletes to speak to the audiences, hear their stories, have a psychologist to advise them on the challenges that they've gotten, and we've seen them yield results. But we still go to the communities, and what we use is the basketball to get into these schools where these kids go to. You make sure you know that these kids go to which school. Mulago parents, they go to which school. St. Martin, a number goes to Kitante. You follow up. We have a follow-up program in the schools.
Yeah, so every holiday you have these kids come
for the camps.
Okay.
For the holiday, it's like holiday camps, but even during school times, every Saturday we have them around, and
So any parent who is not within the areas you've mentioned, you've talked about, and is interested, in
very free to everyone. We have kids that come from Gayas, we have kids that come from this side of Boyogere, Mukono. The parents drive them to Makerere because they have seen the uniqueness in our program. That the kids learn basketball, but there's something else that they get apart from basketball.
Wow. Very beautiful work Allen is doing with I Care Foundation. So how do you balance your demands as a sports journalist and, of course, your personal life?
sometimes you look at the demands you have, and they could be all
So
around.
many demands, yeah.
For me, I think most of my things are around sport. I
Yeah.
think two things matter in my life: my Christian journey, my relationship with God, and then my sports life. So if it's not around those two, I don't think you can get me anywhere. Like, definitely, you might not get me. So the demands I have might be, you have to look for this, you have to look for space, you have to construct a pitch, you're looking for where the kids are going to train next holidays. So for me, I think those are the demands of life that I have. And luckily enough, I have my should I say my boyfriend, my fiancé, my what is also a sports person, so it makes me
Yeah.
more engaged in sport. So the demands really in life, no, I
No.
should say that
Everything is around.
I aligned my life properly, that I
Yeah.
don't want things that are putting me off track.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. And a few, in 2 to 5 years, where do you see IKEA Foundation? Any future plans or goals you have as a team?
We have a very interesting plans, but of course we plan and the execution is for God. But we want to see, as I said earlier on, we want to raise a generation of athletes that are complete. We don't want to have, I think Uganda, me being so passionate and so close to sport, we are not so blessed with good size, and it beats us so much as a country. We are not so, okay, some are tall, but we are not so tall.
Yeah,
The talented
yeah.
ones might not be so tall. The bodies are small. So what we do is, even we have the meal plans for these athletes, that what do you eat? We put a psychologist on you, check on you all the time. How are you doing? And in future, that's what I want to see. Because in future, we want to house these kids, have a program for these children. You have over 50 children that are learning basketball. We go for exchange programs, for example. You go for exchange programs in the US, learn from, because we originate from the US, so we have all the connection is already there with already our existing academy that is in the Baltimore. So we really looking forward to see that our kids get an opportunity and exposure at a very young age. And for me, my prayer is that I see a kid or a person and from what they love to do. And that's basketball for us at IKEA Foundation. We want to see mentally sober kids. We are tired of having athletes that break down during games. There's a rugby game where we lost an athlete. He was playing and he
Passed on, yeah.
So those are all challenges of breakdowns. We want to have mentally, physically complete athletes. And for me, that's my prayer, and that's what we are going to do.
Yeah.
Run camps, have these athletes with us all the time, speak to them about life, those things in life that they don't get a chance to hear, but also help them to grow in their cultures, education, that we make sure they study, and also have something that pushes them in life. And for us at IKEA, I think that's our passion. It is as easy as that.
Yeah,
but achieving it, we need parents that are willing to walk the journeys with us. We need a community that is really friendly. We need government support. We need organizational supports, partnerships with different organizations, to see that if we cannot have the best porridge that we want to feed these kids, but someone
can offer.
Offer, maybe Mama Aunt Porridge or what can come on board and see that we have good porridge for athletes that they can take to be more energetic, and and that's what we are looking forward to. Partnerships with those companies that make shoes. Not so many of our athletes can afford a good Nike shoe that can train, but if you have a company that can give us a 30% off, and we pay 70% on a shoe, that's what we love to see. And we will not thrive without them. We need companies on board, we need organizations to partner with. We need the government to put at least pleasing rules that favor us to see that we have a conducive working space and see that we have a different breed of athletes in the country.
Yeah, wow, wow. And during your submission, you talked about, you know, what you eat. What should a sport person eat?
Oh, wow,
And what should they avoid? You know, I know we might be having people watching us and they're interested.
Off season, please eat everything. I always to people tell us, but you restrict us. You don't want us to do soda. You don't want us to do this, because there are things that are not good for your health as a sports person. That you need sugars, but not carbonated things like what we have here, and you need nutrients, you need supplements, you need all those things are on market, but as athletes cannot afford them. So we need to just have a program that has these things run, because even the athletes know what they are supposed to eat, but they can't afford it. What they can afford is chikomando on the street. And now you're going to go and compete with a fully on international levels. You're going to go and compete with someone who is coming from South Africa, who is well fed, energized, and everything. For you, you've been eating chikomando here. So it's
you reach there
so,
and
it's as simple as that. Having balanced diet is take a lot of water. That's a concept that people don't grow up with. But hydrate as much as you can. But off season, eat what you want. On season, know what is good for your body. They definitely know what is good for their bodies. Sometimes they cannot afford, as I've said. But if you can afford, please eat well. Eat a balanced diet.
wow, okay. Any sport person who is watching us, I think you've had that advice from Allen. And Allen, as we try to wind up the conversation, what are some of with your experience as a woman in sport, all the challenges you see women go through in sports, in your sector, journalism, what would be your advice to a young girl who is watching us right now and would be so much interested in joining, you know, sport and all that?
You've reminded me something. I gave myself a target of mentoring 5 young girls who want to be in sports journalism.
So how far?
I have not found any, but I'm still on the search.
You've not found any girl?
Because there is a lot of opportunities for these young girls, but they are not there. I've at least interacted with 2 people that who are looking for young girls who can do sports journalism, train them everything. I looked around and no, I couldn't see anyone. Asked around, no one. So if you're younger out there and you want to push this sports career, or like, it might not be only journalism, because you cannot just be on the journalism side, but you can have a woman in sport when you're doing quite a number of things in management, in everything. One of the things you have to do is to look at people that you want to be like. Every time, I have a lady that I've been following for the past, I think, 10 years. When I realized that I want to this path. She's called Juliet Power. I think she's Ghanaian. I don't know how they pronounce that, but she comes from Ghana. I've been following her on social media, everything she does, and I'm like, I want to be like that woman. And every time that I go astray, I go back and see, what does Juliet do? This, let me get back in line. You have to find someone who you look up to in life. If you are not be mentored. Be mentored. There is no way you're going to just thrive anyhow. Be mentored, and after looking at that person, because for me, I've never talked to Juliet, but whatever she does, I love it. I follow what she's doing. But find a mentor within your career. I am so glad that I have been mentored by very brilliant women. They might not be so much in sport, but they are doing what I love most. And I have been through their hands like this. You go astray and they tell you, you go on social media and post something, they tell you, put that post down.
Wow, and you listen to your mentors.
Like, okay, she has told me to put. Then they call you out when you are doing something wrong. When you're going to do something really important for your career, involve them. Tell them, I want to do this and this. Do you think it's going to help me? They will direct you. There is no life without direction.
Yeah,
Accept
true,
to be mentored
true.
as a young girl.
Mm.
And when you are mentored, there's a lot of things you will see. And the other thing, do what you love. It's very important to do what you love because you do it with a lot of ease. You're not forced. No one forces me to go and watch games. I think I am one person who even pays money. I'm like, hey, how much is interest? I have me complaining about Manya, how much is a ticket, blah, blah. I always tell people, you people, how are we going to support our federations and what? And athletes is watching these games. Go and watch. The more you're around what you love to do, the more you get interested. And you're not going to sit home and like, you know me, I love sports, and you're going to sit home every day. You start from the local sports here at home.
Yeah.
There is no way you're going to love Arsenal and you don't love
You
Uganda
don't love
Cranes.
your,
What are you
yes.
talking about?
Yeah.
So all those, and as a young girl also, there's a lot of things that can put you off, but know your worth and value. I have done down a lot of jobs as an individual. A media house calls you, and they are really a big media house, for example, and they're giving you a funny offer, and you're like, Nze, I tell people that one I will not do. They're giving you a script of a show you don't want to do. Know what you want to do. Do you want to be an enemy to athletes, or do you want to grow them? I remember when I was from campus, just fresh from campus, I was supposed to do a show, you know, Uncut, that Lugambo show.
Yeah.
But then in the version of sports, in my head, I'm like, I grew up with athletes. There's no I'm going to put athletes down. I remember walking downstairs and I'm like, I'm not
doing this.
Because I looked at the type of content I'm going to be putting out on air. It is not going to help athletes grow. It is going to mentally disturb them.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I am not going to do this kind of a show. And that's because I had a heart for these athletes. You cannot put down the people that you want to see grow. No.
Yeah, true.
So you know your value, you know what you want to do. If you don't want to do something, feel free to say no. It has helped me as an individual.
Know when to say no.
Know when to say no. Say, I don't want. I will not do that show. I'm like, no. And eventually, you find yourself where you're supposed to be. Yes.
And lastly, in regard to sport and health, what are some of the basic sport activities we can do to see that we also keep healthy as general, the general Ugandans? Not only, you sports people being healthy, fit, very fit, but some of the few basic activities that we can engage ourselves into to see that people are healthy.
Take care of your mental health. And for me, when I say this, find activities that are going to take care of your mental health. Activities that are going to keep you mentally and physically fit. For example, these days we have gyms that have Zumba classes, dance classes. Don't do so much.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to go and carry weights. You don't want to go and maybe on a treadmill like an athlete who is active. Okay, you do what you're supposed to do. Have trainers. Those trainers are so important. When you are going down to the gym, people just go and carry everything. But have someone who is helping you in this journey. Tell them what you want to achieve. It doesn't make sense for you to go to the gym and start carrying everything that is
and then tomorrow you cannot walk.
Tomorrow you cannot. Have a trainer with you at home, online. Nowadays we have internet everywhere.
True.
Check online. There are people that have free content online for you to go and do exercises, simple exercises for your body. Don't be so dormant. Engage in active leisure. Active leisure is very, very important.
Yeah.
Most times you're on our phones, you're on computers, we are seated, all
the
those
whole
things,
day.
the whole day. When you get back home, find those small exercises online. Even if it's 30 minutes, do it. it will be very, very important for your health. Walks. Tambulamu.
Yeah,
It is so
yeah,
easy to keep
yeah.
walking around. It is so easy to keep, you know, just walks within your community, but good hours. Don't walk risky hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think for me that's something that has really made a lot of sense. What else? Take care of your mental health as much as you take care of your physical
Your
health.
physical health.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alan. We are really so happy that you came through. It has been a wonderful experience, a wonderful story with you, and we don't take this for granted. Your last remarks to your people, your fans.
Oh, I don't think I have fun. But
People watch you on Fufa TV.
I okay to the people that have been part of this, and the
Yes.
people that know me, and the people that follow us. Thank you so much for following, and thank you for loving sport at large. And my closing shots would be really take care of your mental health. For me, that's a gospel I'm going to spread as long as I live, as much as you take care of your physical health. To the athletes out there, please find the best things to do in your off seasons. Right now, most of you are in off season. Find activities that are going to keep you active as an athlete, but also take good care of your mental health. We don't want to lose you. We don't want you to come back in the coming season and you cannot play. And we love you so much. Keep shining wherever you are, and God bless you.
Wow. Thank you so much to our viewers, the team behind the cameras. We are so grateful. And please leave a comment. If you've enjoyed the conversation, leave a comment. Share the link with the 1 or 2 people to also enjoy this beautiful conversation. And follow us on all our social media platforms. I've been your host, Madreen. See you next week. Bye.